Yo, yo, what's up? It's your boy Norbs, and this is All Call Outs is Mandatory. And I just wanted to, first and foremost, thank Big Time Promotions for having me in the building and showing me a plethora of love. Like, it was so dope. Um, if anybody's ever in the area, like Georgia, and BTP's in the building, and they're throwing an event, first class organization, make sure you get there. It was a whole lot of fun, man. It wasn't bougie, it wasn't too hood, it wasn't whatever. It was perfect. It was a comfortable environment. Um, I had a hell of a time. Um, I want to thank them because as much as a good time I had, they really opened my eyes to what boxing really is. When you think about boxing, right? You think about the glitz and glamour. You think about the Manny Pacquiao's, the Floyd Mayweathers, the top ranked boxing, the fucking MGM Grand, Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, you know, Caesar's Palace. You think about that. You think of the De La Hoyas. You think of that, and today, you know, March 6th, 2021, after being a fan of boxing for over 40 years, right? It never dawned on me what boxing really is and what it was. You know what I mean? Boxing is the only sport, right, that its professionals aren't really treated like professionals. And not from BTP or not Big Time Promotion, but, like, I really got to sit there and watch these guys. And I'm like, this guy's a pro, he's a pro, he's a pro. And I'm just like, damn, son, like, this shit kind of crazy, you know? And I remember talking to my man, Mama's Boy. You already know who he is. Shout out to him and his mom. And Mama's Boy was telling me, he's like, no, it's what people don't understand with boxing is that we're treated differently. If you're not signed to Eddie Hearn or Bob Arum or a Golden Boy or anything like that, and you're not with one of these major organizations, you're pretty much your own promoter. You pretty much got to figure it out. It's not like the NFL or the NBA or the NHL or baseball where you get drafted into a farm system which basically takes care of their players, has them training full time, pays them to train full time, does all those things, those variables that keeps the athlete in the top condition. They get them nutritions. They do all types of crazy shit. One of my friends was drafted out of high school in baseball, and they gave him like $500,000 signing bonus. You know what I mean? Shitload of kids that do that. And boxing is not like that. If you're not signed to one of these major companies coming up or coming out of the Olympics or I guess amateurs, if you're not like a top prospect or anything like that, you're fucking out there to fend yourself, pro or not. And tonight got to really, I really got to see it with my own eyes. Like I was like, yo, this shit is wild. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, damn. Like you can tell, like these guys, a lot of them have 9 to 5s. Like the NFL, you get drafted to the Giants, right? You go into training camp, right? You get a signing bonus. You get, I mean, even if you're not making whatever, you're still making 6 figures. You can still take care of your livelihood, your family, your kids. You could, you know, you're a pro. In boxing, when you're a pro, dog, like you don't, like you don't get treated like these other individuals. You're not, whatever. And I was naive to it. When I thought boxing, I always thought that, like, these guys are well taken care of. Um, and like I said, talking to guys like David Flatt and you know, um, all these other individuals that I've been meeting throughout this new journey that I've began to um, to embark on, it's really opened my eyes towards boxing. It made me really appreciate these individuals that are laying their life on the line. Some people say it all the time, like, this guy's putting his life on the line for this, and dog, these guys are putting their life on the line for not much money. You know what I'm saying? These individuals are probably one of the few individuals that really love the sport and are actually putting their life on the line. Not for monetary reasons half the time. They want to get there, but they're not. And I was interviewing Richard Steele about a year ago, and Richard Steele made a comment to me, basically stating that a lot of these individuals that have passed away or something like that, in boxing, you know, they weren't getting the proper, um, you know, medical attention during sparring, and it's crazy because even Flat was like, "Yo, we getting hit in sparring. We probably have more sparring than we have professional fights, and if you really think about it, we're getting hit in the head. We're doing all this stuff. So some of these guys are showing up, and they're not getting the proper attention. This is pro sports. This is this is the era of the CTE. This is the era of head trauma, and these guys aren't getting the same treatment as the NFL or anything like that. Like this really is a poor man's sport, and it really like watching it for real. Like you hear it and then to see it is two different things. I see some guys in there. You could tell they're not trained like some of these higher echelon fighters and stuff like that. And that's the majority of boxing. The majority of boxing isn't six-figure paydays for these guys, or even high five figures. A lot of these guys are laying their life on the line for peanuts. And you gotta really look at things like that. Like, yo, what the fuck is this? They're not even, and that's why I respect what Big Time Promotions is doing because, okay, yeah, they're paying these guys whatnot, but they're giving them the opportunity to get exposure, like, with the live streaming and treating them like first class citizens. And I got to see that, and, giving them the opportunity to be seen. And they're actually giving these guys opportunities. And I respect it. Like, but it's just very difficult to actually understand what a professional boxer is until you actually go see a fight and go see how the majority of these guys really do. They're not fighting at Caesar's Palace. They're not fighting. They're literally out there hustling tickets to sell and garnering support. Like, this is real old school. And it's very humbling to actually see that, and you kind of appreciate boxing. Like, I would never call anybody a bum anymore. Like, I remember I used to watch fights and this guy's a bum. But what you don't realize is they're not fighting at an even playing field. A lot of these guys are investments that are getting signed, and they're getting the top notch, treatment, doctors, everything. They don't have to work. That's a huge advantage for somebody that got to work a 9 to 5 or even 12-hour shifts in order to feed their family and then still chase their dream as a boxer. So when you say your boxer's a bum, just remember that these guys are really laying their lives on the line for your entertainment. And Big Time Promotions actually allowed me to see it. And it just made me really appreciate it and want to go to these events and blog on it and, try to encourage people to support it more. Like, buy these guys merchandise, whatever it takes, it was definitely something that I would continue to like to build on and kind of want the fans to really get behind because these guys are really, really, really doing it. Like, it's something that's incredible, And boxing is a brutal sport. I think these guys are the greatest athletes in the world, And I feel like we have to really support these individuals and really try to get them support.